To the point, informative, entertaining, and protecting the Second Amendment. Welcome back to Elfster's Rifles Reloading, and the video that I think some of you guys have been greatly anticipating. And that is the video on the EP Integrations 2.0 Annealer. And this is a little project that my good friend Scott Peterson and I have been working on. That's where the EP comes from, Elfers and Peterson. Decided to start a little bit of a LLC business and possibly selling these. Now, this isn't etched in stone. We might not even sell these, but that's what this video is all about. We want to get some feedback from you guys to see if some of you guys might be interested in this annealer that can anneal all the way down to 223 and even smaller if need be, and all the way up to 50 BMG. And it really takes seconds to adjust the brass stopper, the shim plate, and the fence. And it's really smooth. It works awesome. I've been using it for some time now. And I figured I'd give you guys a quick little display of setting this up all the way from 50 BMG all the way down to 223. And I'm going to actually anneal 100 pieces of 5.56 Lake City brass here for you guys to show you how it works. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with my do-it-yourself Elfers 1.0 annealer that you can make yourself for roughly about $100. As a matter of fact, I recommend still making this if you want something that's really inexpensive. Matter of fact, check out the description box below. I'll have links on how to make this and the parts list for it. On the other hand, with this, you can't readily buy some of these parts. Some of these parts are actually machined. And that's where my good friend Scott comes into play. He's a CNC whiz. And we thought we'd get together and create this LLC of EP Integrations LLC and possibly sell these. But like I said, we're not sure if we're going to sell these yet. It's a real thin margin on getting these parts, making the parts, putting it all together, and trying to keep the price point of this at roughly, I don't know, if we do sell it, it's probably going to, don't hold this to me, I'm going to guess roughly about $260, and that could change plus or minus. But for something that you can adjust within seconds from 50 BMG to 223 or even smaller, I think it's a great product. And yes, it doesn't have a hopper, but to be honest with you, I could really care less, especially for the precision reloaders. You're usually reloading 50 pieces or more. And if you think about it, you still have to manually feed the hopper. So what difference does it make? If you're feeding the hopper, if you're feeding the machine, you're still feeding the machine. So anyway, enough of the BS talk. Let's jump right into this, and I'm going to show you how this adjusts from 50 BMG down to 223, and we're going to get some 5.56 Lake City brass annealed. Enough said, let's get this going. Now, just to show you guys that this will anneal from 50 BMG all the way down to, for example, 223 and even smaller if need be. I'm just going to quick run this piece of 50 BMG here, and I'll show you that it cycles just fine. And matter of fact, it would probably be a lot slower than this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to nail this one piece of 50 BMG to the point where it's red hot, way past what I'd recommend nailing this. But this will show you that it can anneal 50 BMG, and I can slow this thing way down if I want. Slower than I probably ever have to slow it down to. And that this does not stall. I can touch the drum like this, and you can see it can go tremendously slow. And yeah, the fact that this is adjustable from 50 BMG to 223 is really awesome. So let me get this torch going, and I'll show you guys that it is possible to anneal 50 BMG. And I'm going to try my best to do this with a camera in front of me. So I'm going to just quick position this flame. I'll probably have this going pretty fast here. All right, so let me dim down the lights. Grab my piece of 50 BMG here. Slow this way down. And show you guys that it will anneal 50 BMG to the point of being red hot. And it is way past being annealed what I'd recommend. And like I said, this will easily anneal 50 BMG. Let me get this smoking red hot piece of 50 PMG casing out of here. Now this is really easy to adjust. For pure example's sake, I have this piece of 338 Lapua here. And in order to adjust this, you just move this out, undo the wing nut. Is what I call a shim plate inside here. So you just adjust this out by spinning it on the threaded shaft. And usually what I'll do is I'll get the brass stopper here and I'll gauge this. Probably be somewhere right about there actually. And usually I'll adjust this just a little bit on the brass stopper. And usually when I get this to the point where I think this needs to be, I just tighten down the wing nut. Again, it's what I call the shim plate. And usually what I'll do is I'll start this to the point where the opening in the drum stops on my adjustable fence. That way I can get the part of the adjustable fence right in front of the shim plate. And right about there, and it's that easy to adjust. And about the only final adjustment I have to do is just adjust the brass stopper in just a little bit more. And now I'm set to Anneal 338 Lapua. And it is buttery smooth. I'll run this a few times. So let's get this adjusted for this 556 Lake City brass. And usually what I like to do is pull out the brass stopper all the way out, undo the wing nut, bring that all the way out, screw out the shim plate. This doesn't have to be perfect, just close enough. And let's say right about there should be good. So I'm going to tighten that shim plate down with the wing nut. Do some fine adjustments here with the brass stopper. It's probably going to be right around there somewhere. And I'm going to rotate this drum around so it's in line with the fence so I can get that adjusted. So right about there. Adjust this up. So the back here is just ahead of the shim plate itself. So right about there. So I'm going to cycle that, make sure that that looks good. Somewhere is right about there. So tighten that down. So I'm going to grab a few pieces here, make sure that this cycles correctly. I'm going to slow this down. So I'm gonna run 3 pieces here, just make sure it runs smooth. And let's anneal some 556 Lake City brass. Now, at least for me, I don't use Tempolac. I use test brass in the glow method. Now, the name of the game is to keep the brass in the flame just long enough to the point where it starts to glow. Remember, this is just test brass. I just use this test brass just to set up the location of the flame, the heat of the flame, and how long the brass is in the flame. So I don't care if this gets over annealed. I'm just using this to get this marginally close so when I do the real deal that I don't under or over anneal it, and then I tweak it out just a little bit when I do the real deal on the first couple pieces. Now, if you're new to annealing, this decapping pin represents the hotter blue inner flame. Usually I'll get that hotter blue inner flame about, roughly about 3/4 of an inch to an inch long. And I'll get the tip of that hotter blue inner flame pointing right where the neck meets the shoulder, right about there, and about 1/4 of an inch off. So let's get to annealing. So I'm going to get that hotter blue inner flame, roughly about 3/4 of an inch long. So something right about there. Like I said, this is just test brass. I don't care if I destroy it. It's already been over annealed. This is just to set the location the heat and the duration in the flame. And I just spin this around. So somewhere's right about there. Now I need to dim down the lights in order to see the glow. So I'm going to turn the lights down here a little bit. Now remember, this is just test brass. And I'm going to set the location right now. So somewhere's right about there. You can see that's way over annealed. So I'm definitely going to speed this up a little bit. And I might even back off this flame just a little bit. But usually once you get a method your madness down, you can get this done in no time. So I'm going to slow this down. So we're at 37 on the digital readout. So you can see that's way too hot. So I'm going to speed this up. Somewhere's about 44. And slow this down ever so slightly down to 41. Let's do a couple more pieces here. Let me zoom in here for you guys too, see if you can see this a little bit better. But right about there, you can see that the brass just starts to glow. So I'm going to get this red hot 556 brass out of the way into my glass bowl. And let's anneal the real deal here. So I'm going to grab my actual brass I'm about to anneal. You can see that the neck just starts to glow on that. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, up to 44. And right about there, you can see that the neck just starts to glow. That's right about perfect. I'm going to slow this down just ever so slightly. And right about there, the neck just starts to glow. Let me try and zoom in here for you guys so you can see this a little bit better. That's just about perfect. All right, let me get the lights back on here. And now we can just go to town. So I'm going to count off this next piece. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5. So almost 5 total seconds. All right, so we are down to the last 3 pieces here. And just like that, 100 pieces of 556 Lake City brass. So let me get this powered down here. And I'm just gonna select roughly 5 random pieces here. So I pulled out 5 miscellaneous pieces of brass here just to show you how consistent this anneal is. Matter of fact, I'll zoom in here for you guys. You know, it's approximately about 1/4 of an inch down from where the body meets the neck. So that's just about perfect. I would say roughly about 5 seconds that was in the flame using the glow method. And so far, I'm really impressed with this annealer. Back here, I got a spare tank holder. So worst thing is when you're running out of propane, you don't have a backup. That's what this is for. Now, obviously, this brass stopper is red, smoking hot, so make sure you grab this with some pliers. But to get this adjusted back to 50 BMG, it really is this easy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little display of the EP Integrations 2.0 Annealer that will anneal from 223 and smaller all the way up to 50 BMG and adjust in seconds. And that's what this video is really all about. We want to get some feedback from you. Make sure you get some comments in the comment section below. We want to hear from you, what you like, what you don't like. And I know, you know, one of the first things I'm probably going to hear is this doesn't have a hopper. And I think this is more geared towards the precision reloader. You know, people that are only reloading, you know, 50 to 100 pieces of brass increments at a time, especially some of these large cartridges like 338 Lapua and even bigger. And I think that's where this is really going to shine. And to be honest with you, I could really care less if it has a hopper. If you think about it, you still have to manually feed the hopper. So regardless if you're feeding a whole hopper or you're feeding the fence, in my opinion, I guess there really is no difference. It's not like something you can just fill up a hopper and walk away from anyway, especially with the flame. So I think, especially roughly, I think we're thinking about $260 we're probably going to sell this for. Plus or minus, we're not totally sure on that. But we want to hear that feedback from you guys. So let us know what you think, especially if you're interested. Make a comment in the comment section below saying, hey, I want one. And we're going to take that feedback and use that in regards to whether we're going to proceed forward or not in regards to selling these. But right now, I just want to get this quick video out to you guys to see this in action. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy my content, my videos. And if you do, scratch my back and I'll continue to scratch your back with this amazing content by not only subscribe, like, and share, hit that notification bell. When you hit that notification bell, make sure you hit notification all. Become a Patreon, it helps out more than you know, and I will see you guys in the next video. So don't forget to make those comments in the comment section below. Talk to you later.